Hey Hellhounds, it's Baffy. This year for Halloween, I wanted to tell y'all a spooky true story from my life. When I was around 8, 10 years old, I was out in the yard, middle of the day, nothing creepy going on, riding my bike. And when I was turning a corner, I crashed because suddenly there was a figure there that scared me. At first, I thought, oh, my brother snuck up on me, or someone walked out and I just wasn't paying enough attention to see them. But when I got myself up off the ground and looked, I saw that the figure was actually a skeleton wearing a cloak and a cowboy hat. I didn't really think much of it at that age. I thought, oh, yeah, either I saw a ghost or I had the overactive imagination that everyone accused me of. Fast forward a couple years, 11, 12 years old, and I saw the cowboy skeleton again. I was spending the night with my grandparents. It was winter, it was cold, it was in the middle of the night, and I was in the guest room by myself. I wasn't really getting to sleep. For context, I had a history of nightmare disorder and chronic sleep paralysis at that point. I ended up later developing somnophobia. But I got out of bed and I went and I sat on the floor in front of the window. It was one of those nice floor-length windows, so sitting on the ground, I could still see out into the yard. And my grandparents lived on several acres of land, very rural area. As I was staring out of the window, I saw black figures starting to appear randomly in the yard, just standing there and staring in my direction. And as I continued to stare, because I was too scared to blink, because I was afraid it would turn out like a horror movie where if I blinked or I looked away, then they would suddenly be on me or behind me, or just them being gone all of a sudden would spook me into like, where are they now? So I kept staring, and as I did so, I started to hear them say things like, come outside with us, or come and talk to us, or things like that. And I just got more scared, and I couldn't move. I kept staring and tried my hardest to hold my eyes open and not blink, and I was terrified, as they were so real. Like, I could see them so clearly. I could hear them so clearly. But as I continued to stare and get more terrified, the cowboy skeleton appeared in the middle of them. And as he did, they started to disappear. Their voices went away. And I remember when it was just the cowboy skeleton left, him saying something of a compliment to me, like an odd sort of, hard for me to describe from in the moment. But I then, a little bit after that, did fall asleep. Then at that time, I took this a little more seriously. I started to see these figures and other um, spooky looking or demonic looking things, especially at night, especially in my bedroom, in my closet, if I woke up during the night, which did happen a lot because, like I said, I had sleep problems. And I did see the cowboy skeleton on occasion. Not as often as I was seeing all the other stuff, but I did see him on occasion. And he did start to sometimes would say something a little cryptic. Sometimes he wouldn't say anything at all. By the time I was 18, I had decided that there was something wrong with me. I ended up leaving home. By that time, I had developed somnophobia, and I was terrified to go to sleep at all because of the nightmares, the paralysis, the things I thought would happen to me if I fell asleep and couldn't defend myself. Um, 18 is when I met my now wife of 15 years, and she urged me to go talk to someone. And I did. And this is something that a lot of you already know and probably already predicted. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. I was also later diagnosed with major depressive and PTSD. But the schizophrenia made a lot of sense at that point. When I eventually started medication, I eventually found medication that actually really helped. And the voices started going away. They had gotten worse, not isolated to seeing demons. Me seeing these demons or figures or whatever, those pretty much all went away. The one thing that never went away was the cowboy skeleton that I had named Sam, after Sam Elliott. Some of y'all will understand what I'm talking about. He has been with me consistently. I see him regularly and have for ever since that one day I saw him in the yard when I crashed my bike. And I've brought this up to therapists, and my therapists have always been pretty open-minded, and they're like, if the medicine takes away everything but this, then I can't say that you're not seeing something. But I'll let y'all decide that. If y'all want a better story or a more detailed version of this, I do have a schizophrenia channel that I've told the story on that you can go check out. So y'all tell me, have y'all had any creepy, spooky, scary experiences like that that perhaps you ended up being able to explain, or perhaps you were still unable to explain? I would love to hear them. Y'all have a happy and safe Halloween, and I will see y'all next week for more goth, spooky, whatever random content I'm doing. Bye.